Hey guys, today I am going to show you how to make flowers out of plastic spoons. You are going to need plastic spoons. I got these for 97 cents at Walmart, and you're going to need about 12 to 13. I'm also using water gems for this glass that I got at Michael's. It was about $4, and the water gems themselves are about maybe $1 and something. And they swell up really, really huge. I'm also using floral tape, a candle, and a lighter, and some scent because after you melt these things, they kind of smell bad. And there's the water to add into the little gems. And these things swell up really, really huge. And we had to empty some out later on in the video, and throughout the video you'll see them get bigger. And some plastic beads, which you can also get at Michael's for like $1 and something for a huge thing, and handy glue gun, which might come in handy at the very end. So the first thing you're going to do is take one of the spoons and some handy dandy pliers. You're going to hold the spoon over top of the flame. Don't put it in the flame, just hold it over top, and as it melts you're going to kind of want to bend and shape it as it goes. I like mine to have a downward slope to them so they look more flowery, if that's a word. And you don't want to catch these things on fire. Make sure you're out in an open space because plastic can be kind of toxic. And I'm even wearing my glasses. I wear glasses daily, but usually I take them off when I get home. But for this, I'm keeping them on just to protect my eyes. This is all about personal preference. That's my finished petal. None of my petals look the same. They're all different. I'm going to put that aside and continue on doing the rest. When I'm done with the rest, that's what it should look like. I'm going to take one of them, and about where I'm pointing at is where I'm going to hold it over the candle. And you want it to get bendy and soft. Kitty. Aww. This can take anywhere between 45 minutes and maybe 35 minutes at the very least, but if you're like me and you get distracted very easy, it may take you up to an hour. When this thing starts to get really bendy, you should be able to just pull it apart. If you're having trouble pulling this thing apart, it's probably not hot enough. The thing is you don't want to snap them off. It doesn't give the same effect, I think. But it just pulls off like that, and you're going to put that aside, and you're going to do it to the rest of them. The lazy way is to set it over top of the candle, if you have a candle like mine, and just leave it there until it starts to bend. And those are the petals that I pulled off. You are going to take 2 petals, just like that, and you're going to hold them over the candle. Try not to set them on fire like I have a tendency to do, because that's not safe. Poor other wax. But basically you want to melt the ends, and then you're going to smush them together. You don't want them to be too close together. And I usually put about 5 on the bottom and 4 or 5 on the middle, and then maybe 3 or 4, depending on how many you're doing, at the very, very top. But like you can see, I'm just smushing them together. And when you get them to a place where you want them to be, hold them there for, I don't know, until you can touch it and it's not so hot and it's not bending anymore. And a tip on these things is if you don't melt them enough, they will just kind of snap right off. So I always make sure mine are really, really melted and stuck. Next, you're going to take another petal. You're going to figure out where you want to put it, and you're just going to put it right beside of the other one. And you're going to do that for the rest of the petals, and that will make level 1. Don't catch them on fire like me, I'm just being lazy. My phone's going off. Oh. And because, like I said, my fingers are really, really sensitive, I'm taking something metal and just kind of helping it smush in there. You can also use your fingernails if you have longer fingernails like I do. That's what the bottom should look like. You're going to start the next level, level 2, by doing the exact same thing. The only difference is that you are putting it on the top of level 1. There's a lot of cars going by today. It's a little weird. But, like I said, just use your nails to kind of push it down, and you don't want to lay it down flat. You kind of want to hold it up a little bit to create that flowery effect. And that's what that looks like. You're going to try to get them in the middle of every other petal. And that's what level 2 looks like. If you don't like the way something is bent or shaped, you can hold it over the candle and bend it the way you want to. The only problem with that is it tends to melt everything else. And this is the start of level 1. I mean, not level 1. Level 3, the top level. You just pretty much layer it all on top of each other. And for this level, I put 3. And that's what that looks like. Next, I'm taking some beads. And those did fall out of my hand on purpose. I'm also taking some pliers. I can find them. There they are. And I'm going to hold the bead with the pliers and hold them over the flame. until they melt. And I'm going to keep my flour handy. And I'm using these pretty much as the center to hide that hole where I put them all together. And that's what the three look like together. You just kind of want to put them in the middle. Next, you're going to take another spoon in the same place where you pulled the petals off of the handle. You are going to make sure that this is really, really melted, by the way, or else it's just not going to bend. And you're going to want to kind of smear it back, if that makes sense. And I'm going to warn you, at all costs, try not to use a lighter, but because I'm not afraid to leave some black spots on this, because I have some green tape that I'm going to be using, I am going to take a lighter to the stem and kind of melt it down a little bit. And I'm going to just pull and twist to give it a whimsical look to it and some length. And the reason why I'm not afraid to burn this thing is because I'm covering it up with the green tape. To add length, I am taking one of the handles that I pulled off the petals, and I am just going to smush that on there. And to hold it and let it set, I'm using pliers. I have a message. Oh. And that's what that looks like. This is where a glue gun comes in handy. I would not recommend doing it this way because you can severely burn yourself. And it also burns the petals, which you will see at the end where I accidentally burned holes in it. But this is just to secure the stem to the flower itself. And I'm just pushing it down to secure it, and I'm going to turn it and do the other side. But I do recommend using a hot glue gun to glue this on. Much safer. And if you had a green stem, you could stop there and hopefully you didn't burn it like I did. But if you don't have a green stem, you can take some floral tape, which you have to stretch in order for it to stick to itself. It doesn't stick to anything but itself. But you are just going to wrap that around all the way up, and then when you reach the top, you're just going to wrap right back down. Then you're going to cut that off, stretch the bottom, and seal it. Easy, right? You can stop there, or you can continue to go. My family tends to keep stuff that falls off of anything, and we found these little leaves that I'm going to use to cover up the spot that I burned. And I'm taking tape, the floral tape, to kind of create a way for it to stick onto the stem. I'm pretty much just crisscrossing the tape. That's all. Somebody was talking to me. I think it was Mom. And I know I'm shaky. I'm not nervous. It's my medicine. Next, I am going to take that and I'm going to place it where I want it. Just like that. And I am just randomly wrapping the tape around. I mean, from the back it doesn't look pretty, but from the front it looks pretty. Hopefully nobody looks at the back. But I'm pretty much just wrapping this around to make it stay as much as I can. And as soon as I get that to stay with the extra tape that I have on the end, I'm not going to cut that off. I'm just going to wrap it around the rest of the stem itself, just to give it that little added security, so if it does come off, you could still just tape it right back on. And this stuff sticks pretty well too. People need to stop talking to me. I'm getting distracted. And that's the finished flower. There's another way that you can do leaves, like with this white flower. Just like you did with the petals, you can shape that and stick it on. But as you can see, those gems are huge. We had to pour some out into a big thing because they make 4 liters out of that tiny little packet. You just arrange the flowers, and of course I'm going to add some more flowers eventually. Some of the gems are falling out. Next I'm taking some of the scent, and I just got a plain flower scent. But that is the finished product. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to email me or ask me anything. I hope you guys enjoy. Until next time. Bye.